What was that?
Good morning. Technical hitches.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes. Myself, Michael Burgio, Mark Novak, episode 283. Where are all the workers gone?
Big
Where
one.
are all the workers?
They've
What
gone back
inspired
home.
this conversation?
The key workers have gone home. There's more jobs for locals due to COVID. Mark Davies, a friend of mine that I've sold many properties for over the years, has a business called I've Got Time. So Mark is a great guy. We met each other when we were sort of in our early 20s, and when and he got into a great business on the Northern Beaches, North Shore, now Sydney wide, called I've Got Time. And I've Got Time started originally as a concierge service, like any runaround stuff that you need done. You use I've Got Time on a contract basis and they'll get stuff for you done. So if you needed a car to be dropped off somewhere, a car to be purchased, if you needed a property to be purchased, if you need some help with financing, to find a good accountant, to find a good solicitor, whatever, it was almost like a PA sort of concierge, run around all different levels. And what's actually happened, Mark's business has exploded even more, and he's now doing property, private property management. So what he actually does is he looks after people's homes, and they don't lift a finger. So they just live there. Everything else done. If you want to do a kitchen renovation, if you wanted to get your pool maintained, if you want to build a new fence or a roof on the property, whatever in the property where you live, Mark will do private property management, maintenance. More for obviously there's more obviously the more affluent, the CEOs of corporate companies and stuff like that. But where this is going is, I was having a chat with him yesterday, and he was like, mate, business is great, better than ever, huge. People love the service. They love the convenience. Do you know how we always talk about convenience? But he said, what's actually happening is I'm finding that the guys that used to cut the lawns or clean the pools or do that sort of stuff are really hard to find. So he said, I've got these great jobs for people, but not a lot of people to fill it. But it's a really good thing if you're having a sea change or a tree change and you wanted to change, and mix things up a little bit in your life. What a great opportunity for people, not just in his business, but in all business, because there's actually those key workers have left Australia, and it's left the doors open for people.
Yeah, I reckon there's heaps in the hospitality industry. If you just think of hospitality, there's generally a lot of tourists or people on visas working in those industries. So there's a lot of opportunities there. Basically, I reckon in a lot of industries, that sort of entry level, one year experience level, I reckon 50% majority have sort of left Australia, like literally left. Because of better healthcare or just being close to home due to the pandemic, which means there's big demand, which we've touched on other episodes before about if you've ever thought about changing industries, now's a great chance, because there is a big opening at that sort of entry level of sectors, and also in relation to a lot of those jobs that Mark would be hiring may already have a full-time job, and they're just doing second work as well. So a lot of people just don't have that at the moment. So what do you reckon a bit of a solution is, or a message out there?
Well, you know what? We're educating our kids these days. Everyone wants a degree for their kid. It's the Australian way. The problem is that for everyone that needs a degree, I don't know the numbers exactly, but I'd imagine 3/4 or 2/3 of the people out there, you actually need non-degree work for. So what used to happen is in year 10, in the olden days, Michael, they used to...
Like black and white movie days.
Black and white movie days.
Tell
You
me.
know what? Even probably my brother and sister's generation. My brother and sister are 10 years older than me.
Before TV.
But before TV, about 2/3 to 3/4 of their year left. 2/3 to 3/4 left in year 10.
Yes, good point.
Very
good point. It was more trade. Like I think.
Yep.
Just before we go to that, I reckon there was a big perception or proud. Like it was. I don't want to say look down to you now, but there was a lot of aspiration. People were excited if you said, I'm leaving school because I'm going to go do a trade. I'm going to learn a skill. School has been great, but they can't take me to that level of being a carpenter or builder. These days, it's almost a lot of pressure for kids to get a degree. Don't even think about leaving. What, you dropped out year 10? Are you an idiot? I remember going through school.
That was the word.
Yes. So what were you saying? I think that's just a big difference between now and back then.
And what's that producing with workers? Because at the end of the day, Luke Moroney's brought up some really good comments saying street smarts. But at the end of the day, you know, we all know little Johnny who doesn't even have any bloody hair under his arm. He's left school at year 10. What an idiot. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with him? Oh, no, little Johnny wants to be an electrician. But he should at least finish high school. That's what everyone says.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, why, when he can get paid 30 grand a year for 2 years and make 60 grand, instead of go through school and muck around on something he doesn't love?
But think of it this way.
Seriously.
Think of anything you've done and go, if I had an extra 6 years of experience, how much better would I be? And that's what we're talking about. So if you leave school at year 10, that's right. 2 and uni 4. 6 years. Like, I've only done real estate for 8. So if I did it 6 years, or if you're doing personal training, just think of anything. 6 years, you're basically delaying your training. And they got that back then.
30K, 30K, 40K, 50K, 60K. You know, that's the reality of. And then hang on a sec, I've missed out on.
That's your 10,000 hours of being professional.
Yeah, because to go pro, you need 10,000 hours in any business. That's pro. So you're leaving what, 200 grand on the table. You've got, now you haven't got a uni degree. But can I tell you, you got a degree in life. You got a degree in the world. So you haven't wasted that time. Now, where are we going with this? Tying it back to what Mark Davies was saying. Like, if our kids are not going to do the key worker jobs, if our kids are not going to, drive the street sweeper, if our kids are not going to be chippies, plumbers, electricians, apprentices, who the hell is?
Yes. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Gary V says this very well in a lot of his stuff, where people are going to college or uni, whatever, just for their parents. And he actually said, he made a point and message to like parents going, if you can't look at your neighbor next door and say, hey, my kid didn't go to college and you're ashamed of it, there's something wrong with you. Like, especially at our age, think about it this way. You're going to uni, you're doing something that's going to give you 30, 50, 100 grand debt. Like, you shouldn't take that on lightly. You don't just go get a credit card and blow it on 100 grand worth of shoes. Like, look at because the key thing is there, look at where you want to go and will that degree help you? If you want to be a carpenter, if you want to be a builder, there's many jobs that you don't need a degree. So why would you go rack up 100 grand worth of debt just to get that job when you can leave earlier? Where I think there's a lot of people's ego in it. Parents' pressure, ego, because they don't want to be ashamed of, like, my kid didn't go to uni or he dropped out year 10. I think you need to think about it.
And what Mark Davies was saying in his property maintenance chat that we were having is he was going, look, business is great. Business is great. And why the hell is business great? It's because society wants to do life from their mobile phone or wants to do life from their television remote, the Apple remote. Can't show my age. But do you know what I mean? Like, people want his services, to consume his services more year on year, decade on decade than ever. People don't want to be mowing the lawn, don't want to be. They're happy to pay for stuff like that, which blows my mind. But
Yep.
But then again, it opens up to the same conversation we're having: key workers, key workers, key workers. Who's going to do the work?
Yeah, exactly. And for the people out there who go, oh, education, education, you can still do that. I think anyone who's successful in any career, from the carpenter to the lawyer, you're continuing learning in your field. So when you look at doing broad studies, like finishing year 11 and 12, it's quite a broad stuff, like broad topics, broad study. You haven't narrowed in. So I think the key thing as well, who's going to do that work? And if you like doing that work, running around doing multiple things, but just keep that learning going as well, because I think that's the biggest probably counter argument. Well, you got to keep learning.
Why do we say the words going back to uni? Why isn't it going forward to uni? So why can't you go out in the big wide world at the age of 17 or 18 or even 15 or 16, have a little scout around for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, then step up to uni? Why not? Why, rather than doing something you don't even know if you like, or you don't even know if you want, and then people go, oh no, I've got, I don't want to go, going back to uni. No, that's going forward, guys. That's going forward.
Thanks, Luke. Look, this is a super subject. All Australians need to hear this. And I think it is quite, when you do think about it, like you're one, got to take on that big debt, 50 grand, 100 grand on a topic subject that you don't even know if you like. How many, I would love to hear so many kids, they've done their degree and then they've actually gone into that job and gone, fuck, I should have done something else to make me better for this. So that concept of going to work in industries and fields and then know, all right, that's what I like, and now I'm going to choose a study for that. Very different approach, but could be much better.
And often your employers will pay for it for you. Often they'll give you the time away to do it.
Yeah,
because you're good. They like you. They want you more educated. It's really interesting. It may even leave you open to thinking that the way we've got our education system, from leaving high school to the degree, that there's got to be something chocked in the middle with work experience or note taking or love development, passion development of what you're passionate about in work, to then forge yourself into university. Now, why again are we going back to this, guys, today is in property. We've got a wonderful guy called Mark Davies that does his property concierge. His company's called I've Got Time. He's having a raging time in business. Business is excellent. People are loving the service of what he does. He's also opened out to a big business of pool maintenance and garden maintenance, landscaping. Our country is short of key workers because all these guys have left. The Brazilians, the Italians, the Thai, all the immigrants that were here doing key stuff that we needed done, because we've decided all to whack our kids through university and tell them that's be proud of them. Luke brought up a really good thing. He's saying that let them do what they want to do. The kids, what are they passionate about?
Yeah, exactly. Anything else you want to add on to this? Sorry for the late start, guys. Technical issues, but
it was a bummer to start, eh?
Yeah, we forge on.
We do. Now, that's it. I think it's a cool topic, and I think it's Saturday. It's a busy day out there, guys and girls. If you're out there, if you need to buy or rent, call us, see us. We're out there today. I think today we've got another 50 odd opens. Rentals is pumping.
Yeah, I think we released 60 or 70 opens a month ago. Now we're down to 14, and then back up. So there's a lot of movement. Back up to 50, so a lot of movement.
It's nuts. Sales is going well. Money is cheap. That's what's happening on the coalface and what we're seeing, guys, week by week. And what's happened with Beres Jiglian? Any good news with her on our last report? I haven't covered it. What's happened?
I haven't covered it, but I think there'll just be media crap for a week or two. But she's been great. So personal life aside, who cares? Move on. There's nothing illegal there. Fuck it.
Australians know more about Trump.
Yeah, exactly. I've been following that. But I think it just shows it's always the bad stuff that goes well on Instagram and social media and clickbait. It's it's almost how they were designed, the social medias, aren't they? It was all the negative stuff, all the arguments, all the riffing between people. That's the stuff that gets pushed up, promoted, and everyone looks at. So I think, anyway, she's doing a good job.
Doing a good job. Everyone have a great day, Burge. See you, bud.
See ya. I don't know how to end it on my